Seekers, Inga from Health Origins here. How are you? So, the Hunger Habits 21-day challenge, days 17 and 18. How are you doing, guys? Are you following along? Have you tried some of the tools that I've already discussed in my previous um, days that I've broke down for you? I hope it's going well. I'm definitely seeing changes in the way I see and pay attention to to the stuff I eat, to the amounts I eat, how I feel afterwards. I try to do retrospective awareness a lot. And yeah, I'm trying to be aware and in the moment how it tastes like, how it feels like, and to try and slow down. That's still one of my challenges. I need to slow down, to really slow myself down. um, but I'm sure I'll get there. So day 17, what's day 17 then? um, so in the book, Dr. Brewer talks about unenforced freedom of choice. Um, because anything that's forced upon you, you will resist, you will revolt against it. You're kind of, yeah, it's not gonna be a long lasting change if it's something that you didn't choose yourself, if it wasn't free, if it wasn't your choice, made freely. Okay, something that you've been pushed upon, something you think you should, you must, or you better, things like that. So yeah, so he talks about, so think about, reflect on any habits if you've done up to now, if any of your little eating habits have started changing, and what things have changed, how things affected, and did you make that decision freely yourself? Did you make that choice? Did you make that connection, um, with being aware what's good for your body, versus kind of what you should be doing? So yeah, so that's that's a good way to put it, that it is a massive difference, basically, if you think you should do something, because we all know that we should probably eat less, exercise more, we all know this, right? But because it's not something that we arrived at the decision or choice ourselves, we resist it, we don't do it, we don't stick to it consistently, we don't enjoy it. Okay, so yeah, so ponder on that. Day 17 today, what habits you already managed to change or started changing, and how did it go, and do you feel that you have that freedom of choice by being aware how it makes you feel, and you make that decision to change what you're putting in your body? Because if you overeat, it doesn't feel good. If you're putting the wrong kind of foods in your body and you pay attention, it doesn't feel good. So yeah, so make that connection between the body, listening to your body signals, and then realizing that you have that freedom of choice to choose a different option for yourself. Okay, so now day 18, let's move on to day 18, which is tomorrow. And this is a fun part. Build your in enchantment database. You know how we build this enchantment database where you were building up, by succumbing to your cravings or going through with your cravings and eating whatever you were craving, and noticing how it feels, as you eat, or why you eat in the first place, how it feels like as you eating, paying attention to every bite, and then afterwards, even more importantly, how your body feels, how your emotions feel, what you're thinking. So yeah, so you were building this disenchantment database where the foods you were eating, the amounts you were eating were too much, the foods were making you feel ill, headaches, kind of irritable, moody, and different things like that. So yeah, so you were building disenchantment database, right? Now have a think about what kind of substitutes for unhealthy foods you could make into healthier foods, because sometimes, even though you might have dealt with the craving that you, for example, understand now that gummy worms, let's say, are not good for you. However, you still, your brain and your body might still kind of want some kind of healthy substitute for that. So what the author in the book did, he substituted his gummy worms with blueberries, right? So he kind of swapped gummy worms for blueberries. So he did the experiment where he was kind of paying attention when he was eating gummy worms, and then he did the same thing with blueberries and kind of noted the sensations, the mouth feel, the taste, just everything, and the after effect, how he felt afterwards. And obviously, blueberries won hands down on everything, on the complex flavors, kind of delicious combination of that sweetness, tartness. Um, the mouth feel was nice and kind of a bit of a firmness, but then pop of the softness and sweetness. And then obviously it was completely like day at night how he felt after eating gummy worms, and like the sugar rush and the headaches, or or whatever you get afterwards, as compared to blueberries that actually he was like really nice and content. So yeah, so think about your kind of troubled foods that you crave and try and find a healthy substitute for it, whether it's a piece of fresh fruit, or whether it's some dried fruit you might want to pick. If it's something savory and healthy, think of a healthier version of the same food, maybe um some celery or carrot sticks with some hummus might kind of hit the same kind of craving, the savory craving. Or whether from crisps that are fried in lots of oil, maybe you'll choose like a popped version of a crisp, which is just like air popped popcorn crisps you can even get, or just popcorn as well. That might satisfy that crunchiness, that, because I love popcorn, and I know it's so much better for me than crisps, because crisps is one of my weaknesses. I'm still trying to find the same healthy, satisfying, savory snack that you get with crisps. But yeah, so have a think, what could be a healthier substitute for those foods you're craving, um, and build your enhancement database. Yeah, so go through this mindful eating, the amounts, the taste, the flavors, sensations, and then also do retrospective, look back and see, especially at the results, how you felt afterwards, how satisfied and kind of fulfilled you felt, and that you weren't bloated, you weren't having like a sugar rush or a headache, or the sickly feeling, for example. Yeah, so go and do some retrospective, think back to the healthier things you ate. And also you can do the same with the amount of food. So explore your pleasure plateaus more. So eat slowly, and enjoy every bite, leave kind of time to pass, between when you start and you finish, to at least be 20 minutes, so that you could actually you know manage to stop on your pleasure plateau before going down this cliff, falling off the cliff of overeating, right? So yeah, so try and work on getting that pleasure plateau, um perfectly dialed in, where you know exactly how much of specific food um you would need to feel that nice satisfaction, that pleasure, without it being too much, and yeah, and throwing you overboard that cliff with amounts of foods. So yeah, so that's day 18. So positive reinforcement. So yeah, just find those healthier foods and repeat this healthy reinforcement, positive reinforcement, so that you build your positive, like, enchantment database of foods. Do the retrospective exercise, like I said, and your pleasure plateaus for amounts of food. So yeah, so that is it. So I'll leave nice and quick today, days 17, 18. So all we are left is just 3 more days, guys. So I hope you're having a lovely Monday evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.